welcome to Mind Your Matters. My name's Amanda Jane, and today we're jumping in on a collab hosted by Tiffany P over at the Happy Homeschooler, and I'm so excited to join in because it's the new year, and let's reassess what we want for next year. If that's something you're interested in, please stay with me, and let's get into it. Welcome by the fire. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. I don't want to putter too long. My kids are taking their break rest time right now, but I wanted to sit and chat and take a part in this collaboration. Thank you, Tiffany, for putting this on. And I am going to just briefly discuss where we're at. If you have been on my channel for any length of time, you know that we had a upset in our home. It could have been worse. It could have been, life-threatening or something like that. But it was just our home was out of whack. We had a flood downstairs. When we got back from vacation, it was absolutely crazy. So my house has been in a little bit of an upset, and it has affected us, or affected me, I'll say, emotionally, a little bit physically, because my home wasn't in the order and things were a little different. We had people in our home that were working on things, painting and whatever, lovely people, wonderful helpers, but it does kind of put a wrench in the works when you're a stay-at-home homeschool family. So having our home in some disorder was a little bit rough, but it's slowly getting back together. I can't wait to share a whole bunch of that. But when it comes to homeschooling, your home is very important, how that you keep your space. So we were in an upset. We were homeschooling in a construction zone, and we're coming back from vacation. Anyways, thankfully, the upsets, that we had going on with renovation downstairs, the forced renovation downstairs, happened around the holidays when everyone else is taking break anyway. So that was pretty nice. We had that. It was a good, timely thing. But we're getting back into it. I just recently did a video with my friend, for my friend Nina, who writes the Celebrate Everyday books. So that's been helping us get back on track and all of those things. But I've been really reassessing, especially because of a lot of our homeschool materials were destroyed or just, in an issue. So I had to reassess a lot of our items. So in our home, we've been trying to be minimal, more intentional in things. So more intentional in our homeschool supplies is also something that I need to do better at. I came from being a in the classroom teacher, and I loved materials. I loved cards. I love manipulatives. I love all that stuff. And they're not all in all bad, but when you have too much of something and you end up not having value in it and maybe not using it because it's lost in the piles of stuff that you have, that's when it might be a problem, when you're not using it to its fullest capacity. So that's kind of where I found myself with a couple things. We have grown out of some of things, and that's okay too. You grow out of some supplies that you're using, so it's time to give them to a new home or do something with them that you can make some money or just bless someone else. So I have to go through a lot of our things. A good bit is staying on, but I need to go through it. I need to put it back in my mind of what I have and how I'm going to use it, if I'm going to use it, and so on and so forth. So trying to be intentional and more minimal in our homeschool is really what I desire to be. And I thought we already were, but it seems like as things have been leading in our lives, in our family, and in our homeschool part of our family, we've been leading, it's been a leading more towards being more minimal. And I am pretty excited about that because a lot of our materials were forcefully taken from us from being destroyed. So now I get to reassess, what am I going to rebuy? What am I going to take care of in keeping orderly and using in the next year? I'm not really doing a word or some type of, I know that's a big thing to focus on. What are we going to be doing for the next year? I guess if I was to have a word, it'd be intentional, and that will cover a lot of things, and more minimal, and it being present and having the things that we need when we need them. So I know that's a lot. That's pretty heavy, huh? What goals and adjustments would I make this year? What types of arrangements would I make so that I can put what I want to change or what I want to have in the forefront? Well, again, on the lines of being more minimal. I want to go back to the bare bones even more than we already are. Now, if you're wanting a basis to what kind of grade levels that I have at home, we do have lower grade levels, so want keep that in mind. So I have a third grader, almost fourth grader, because we do like a year round. So whenever we finish, we just start up again. And I have a first grader, and I have a K5, which is 5-year-old doing kindergarten work, K5. And then I call it K4, but he's just learning his letters. So kindergarten, 3 years old, almost 4 years old. So there we have it. So those are my kids, and that's the grade levels that I am working. Your homeschool is totally different anyway, but if you have older kids and things for prepping for college and all of that stuff, high school stuff, this might not apply 100% to you, but the idea is my children are younger, so I know they're going to get it. I know they're going to get a lot of stuff, and I don't want to pack the whole homeschool day down and have all that anxiety and all of that stress of wanting to fix and finish all the materials and all the things and all the pages and get the curriculum day done. Now, coming again from a Christian school, coming from a in-the-classroom teacher, formally trained myself, I have this mentality to want to finish things and want to be ahead of the game, want to be planned and organized and a lot of routine. And that's not all in all bad, but I do need to make the adjustments when adjustments are needed. Our focus is going to be on, now we say the 3 R's, but one of them's not an R. But that's okay. We'll take it as it goes. We're going to stick with the 3: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Reading, we are excellent at. I believe we get like 100% there. Writing, we're doing okay. It's not necessarily one of our joys. Copy work, that's there. But writing like from what you are wanting to say and putting that out on paper in paragraph form and so on and so forth. That's something we need to work on. Arithmetic, that's just not an R, it's arithmetic. It's arithmetic, but we need to work more on our math. But I think we're doing great in these areas. And because we had to read alouds, lots of things in our homeschool, exploring, being out, going with friends. We don't have co-ops, but we make our own co-ops. We go and do things as a family. That's where we're going to be learning a lot. And also just talking to mom all the time. Ask questions. All of that stuff. We're going to get all the other things. My children get a lot of history and science and all of that. Definitely want to be focusing on those things. Training, like home skills, all that all affects the homeschool. That affects the way that we run our home. That's how it's going to affect us and how we do our homeschool day. So that's something I really want to take care of and do better, because it's so much easier for mommy to do it herself at times, but it needs to be taught to them, and sometimes I don't feel like the training. I just rather do it by myself quietly. And also that loving part needs to be through all that. Always loving through the training, through all of those things, and to focus heavily on discipling. So to disciple my kids, usually we try to get that word backwards or inside out or whatever, and we want to say disciplining our kids. Yeah, they need to be disciplined, but they need to be discipled. They need to be discipled in the things and the values that we have. Now, in our home, we are a Christian homeschool family. We love Jesus and we love God, and we try to teach our children to serve Him and to honor God's word and to live it out in their lives. You may have different views and different things that you honor and want in your children's lives, different character traits and what have you, and different belief basis. But here in our home, that's what we hold true, and that's what we share, and that's what we try to live as we show our children in our lives. So to disciple them should be the forefront, and I admit sometimes it goes back and forward. It's, we got to get math done. We got to get, you don't write sentences very well. We need to write sentences. We need to do this and that. All right, no, don't worry about memorizing that verse right now. We've got to get to language, And we all get a little off pace and off balance in different things that we are trying to emphasize in our home and in our homeschool family and with our children. That's just the way it is at times. We all struggle with that. So what our pinnacle bedrock, I guess our spine of our, not curriculum, but what we want our children to grasp and take away from homeschool we need to be pushing. We need to be heavily marked on that. If we're having such a rough day that we are losing our Jesus, you can't lose your Jesus. If you're saved forever. Losing yourself, you're losing your beautiful shine of Jesus in your life with your children because you're losing your mama top and you're just popping and going crazy about whatever because you're struggling that day. Not an excuse, just the way it is. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. So if what's causing that, is it your home's out of whack? Do you need to have a cleanup day? Do you need to go ahead and take half day and go ahead and take care of whatever needs to be done because things are stressing you out? And mama, things rise and fall in leadership. So if you're going to be leading that home in that direction, it's going to be rough. And I'm speaking from example. I am not speaking from perfection. I am speaking from being purified by God and going ahead and trying my best to ask Him for help and going in His power, because I can be hot. I can be a hothead. I can go ahead and just struggle like any of you. People think that homeschool moms have an extra dose of patience, and that's not so. We'd have to extend it throughout the day. And sometimes we're really having a rough go. But we cannot lose the grasp on what's important. That our children, that they learn that we love God, they should love God too, and that they should be saved and they should go on for Him. That's the basis. If they can read, perfect. We want them to read God's Word. Reading other things is wonderful too. We want them to be learned. We want them to understand the world around them. All of this stuff. But most importantly is discipleship. Loving them, knowing that they were loved, and everything else is going to fall into place. Everything else is going to be just fine. So here I am taking this jump of faith, and we're going to be more minimal. I'm going to pretty much have less materials pulled out, and if they get pulled out every now and then, that's fine if that's what I feel like I need to do that day. But I'm not going to worry about page by page and anything like that. That's not going to happen around here, and I'll have this video as a testament to listen to on a rough day. Amanda, in January 2022, you said this. So this is Amanda Jane speaking very honestly about what I want to see in my homeschool this year. Things that we're going to change, things we're going to do better, different assessments on how I have been. And a lot of things are going to be remedied with the house coming back together, but I still need to have a plan in place so that I can be a great homeschool mom and we can have a lovely, Christ-loving and family-enjoying homeschool. So that's me. And I'm so thankful that you were here. Thank you, Tiffany from The Happy Homeschooler. I am enjoying her channel so much. She is doing so well. She is such a blessing, and I'm thankful that she was allowing me here on this collab. So check out in the description below the playlist and go ahead and work through those. Put an earbud in, enjoy all of the content. I'm sure everyone's going to have some awesome stuff, so you don't want to miss out on that. And also Tiffany's channel I will have linked in the description box below. So that's that. It's been a little while. I'm going to go down and make sure all my children are having a nice rest time. Some of them sit with books, some of them close their eyes, and it's just a nice time to decompress during the day. So I'm glad I get to spend a portion of that with you and have a little bit of my coffee, which is half gone. But have a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of the playlist, and we'll see you here next time. Oh, and if you've enjoyed this video so far, give it a thumbs up. If it encouraged you in any way, if it has any value, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and stay a while. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye. Any further ado, I'm going to turn the heater off. The heat thing here is a little too toasty. I talk so fast. Hopefully y'all got a lot out of that. Have a good one.